Oh, I got a call from the FAA. I'm Trent Palmer. I fly drones for a living and bush planes for fun. Follow along as I journey off the beaten path of aviation. What's up, guys? Trent Palmer here. I got a call from the FAA yesterday, and they were calling to talk to me about my video where I threw a radio-controlled airplane out of my real airplane and flew at formation. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to post a link up here. Also, if you were subscribed, you would have seen it, so you should probably subscribe. I got a lot of cool videos in the works and a lot of cool experiences I'd like to share with you guys through this channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But I will have to say the phone call that I got was actually pleasantly surprising. Now, the inspector who called is one that I've actually had previous interactions with through the 333 exemption program when the first regulations were out for commercial drone use. And for those of you that don't know, I fly drones commercially for a living in the film industry. I own a company called Copter Kids. So in the early days of the exemption, when we used to have to file plan of activities and all of that, I had interacted with this inspector before, and he's a good guy. And really, when it comes down to it, he called just to chat with me, just to clear things up. Now, I don't know in what respect I was reported to the FAA, but sounds like someone had reported me for the video. And I think it was more along the lines of worrying about if I had permission to land at the RC field. And really, that's what the main subject of the conversation was with the FAA inspector. And it's an interesting thing, and I've learned a lot through this experience that I wanted to share with you guys. Prior to landing at the radio control field, I was invited by, I think, 4 different separate members of their club that had all said, come on in whenever you'd like. We love having you here. And I've also been shown photos and told stories of other airplanes landing there. So I know I wasn't the only one going and doing this. However, in hindsight, even though I was given permission by some of the members, I technically wasn't given permission by the owners of the club. So the property owners didn't give direct permission, which kind of puts me in a little bit of a weird gray area. I didn't technically have full permission to land there, although I kind of was given permission, and given that there's a runway out there that doesn't have any sort of notifications or identifications to tell you not to land there, I wasn't really in the wrong by landing there. However, our conversation basically just summed up that I probably shouldn't go back there anymore. And you know, at the end of all this, I hope I didn't create too much stress for the Reno RC Club. You guys, I love what you're doing. I've been going out there since I was a kid as guests of members, and I enjoy the facility, and I like the RC world. I'm a huge fan, and I've been in it forever. I'm enthusiastic about every different part of aviation, so I really hope I didn't step on any toes by doing that. I definitely don't plan on going back again. Now, the interesting part, when I was on the phone with the inspector, he took this second as an opportunity to just have a safety talk with me, which anyone that knows me knows I am very safety oriented. I know that my videos could appear a little out of the norm and maybe reckless to some people that aren't used to the type of flying I do, but I don't want that appearance to be confused with actually being reckless or unsafe. Now, while we're on the topic of safety, I do want to mention that safety is of the utmost importance to me as well as the crew that I fly with. All of us understand that the type of flying we're doing is outside the scope of normal operations, and we have a lot of pieces that are moving very quickly, and we often have a lot of aircraft flying in a close proximity to each other, and none of that is to be taken lightly. Now, I do understand that there might be viewers out there that watch my type of flying and think, wow, I'd love to go do that and go jump into it. All I can say is please don't do it without first seeking out proper instruction. It's not something that you just jump out and go fly low through the desert or go into these, confined, limited space off airport landings like we do. It takes a lot of years and a lot of practice and building up comfort in that aircraft. I stay very current, and I try to stay extremely safe with my operations. Safety is always my #1 concern. Now, the big thing that I gained or learned from that phone call with the FAA inspector was that the FAA as a whole isn't just here to ruin our fun. They aren't always just out looking for enforcement action to revoke certificates or hit you with fines or something like that. They're here to just keep things safe. You got to remember that these are the guys that have to report to an accident scene and deal with horrific, horrible, deadly events that no one should have to see. And if a phone call like what they gave me helps prevent one of those, then I think that by all means they should call as often as they feel like. And I made sure to tell the inspector that I would love an open line of communication between him and I. So to sum up our conversation, the inspector told me that he's going to consider this case closed. We didn't need to chat about it anymore. He just wanted to reach out and have a safety talk. So to anyone out there that's worried about the FAA, my advice is, if you're worried, check the rules. Make sure you're not doing anything illegal. If it feels unsafe, it may be, and you'll know. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. The other thing to think about as well, I think all of us as pilots like to think that we're really good pilots. We take pride in our skill and knowledge of the regulations. However, sometimes it's good to have a little reality check and have someone check you on the fact that, hey, are you double thinking this? Are you sure that you're being safe? Now, to wrap up this video, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and please be safe out there, guys. I'm gonna do the same, and we'll see you guys on the next one.